Did you know that on April 4th, 2025, China fired back at the US with a 34% tariff on everything imported from America? That's not just a trade policy. It's a warning shot in a rapidly escalating economic war. But what triggered this bold move? And why now? Just days earlier, the US stunned global markets by announcing a 54% tariff on Chinese goods, adding a fresh 34% to the existing 20%. The message was clear. America was tightening the screws. China's response? Swift and strategic. By targeting all US imports, Beijing didn't just retaliate, it sent a message of strength and symmetry. This move wasn't just about numbers, it was about balance, a signal that China won't back down easily in this tit-for-tat battle. But here's the twist. Who really wins in this tax war? And how will it reshape global supply chains, inflation, and your daily life? Let's dive deeper into what this 34% really means, and why it could change everything. China's ban on exporting 7 types of rare earth minerals to the United States is a strategic move aimed at exploiting a critical vulnerability in the US economy. Rare earths are indispensable in manufacturing semiconductors, high-tech devices, and military equipment, forming the backbone of modern technology and national defense. By prohibiting the export of these minerals, China is directly challenging the US' reliance on a supply chain that has long been dominated by Beijing. This policy is not merely an economic tactic, it is a calculated geopolitical maneuver. The ban underlines China's willingness to leverage its natural resources as a bargaining chip in the broader context of US-China tensions. For the US, whose tech and defense sectors heavily depend on a steady supply of rare earths from China, this decision introduces a significant risk of production disruptions and increased costs. In the high-stakes arena of global technology and security, even a slight hiccup in the supply chain can cascade into substantial economic and strategic setbacks. The move also sends a strong signal to the international community about the shifting balance of power. It forces US policymakers and industry leaders to confront the reality of their overdependence on a single supplier and accelerates efforts to diversify supply sources. This could include ramping up domestic mining efforts or forging new alliances with other rare earth-producing nations. However, replacing China's dominant role is no simple feat, as alternative sources might require considerable time and investment to reach similar levels of efficiency and scale. Ultimately, China's decision to ban rare earth exports is both an economic and political tactic designed to secure its strategic interests and reshape the global supply chain landscape. It underscores the urgency for the US and its allies to develop more resilient and diversified sources for these vital resources, ensuring that national security and technological progress are not compromised by geopolitical leverage. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. China has expanded its Unreliable Entity List by adding 11 American companies, effectively restricting or even banning their business operations within its borders. This decisive action is not merely a retaliatory response to US tariffs and trade policies, but also a strategic maneuver aimed at protecting China's national security and economic development interests. By including these US companies on the list, Beijing is signaling its willingness to employ non-economic measures to control foreign interference in its domestic market. The companies targeted by this move now face a range of barriers, including restrictions on imports and exports, as well as prohibitions on new investments in China. Such measures are especially challenging for firms operating in high-tech, defense, and manufacturing sectors, where technological innovation and supply chain integrity are closely tied to national security. This step serves as both a direct countermeasure and a stern warning to all foreign enterprises. Compliance with Chinese regulations is imperative to avoid causing harm to the country's sovereignty and development interests. It also illustrates the escalating trade and technology conflict between the United States and China, where both sides are increasingly resorting to non-tariff measures to safeguard their national priorities. From a strategic perspective, expanding the Unreliable Entity List forces American companies to reconsider their supply chain configurations and seek alternative markets. This shift could disrupt existing trade balances and prompt a global realignment of business strategies. Ultimately, These actions may lead to a broader reallocation of resources and a restructuring of international supply chains, as businesses worldwide adapt to a more contentious and protectionist trade environment. In doing so, China aims to assert its influence while urging foreign companies to adjust their operations to align with its national interests. China has launched an anti-dumping investigation targeting imported CT tubes from the United States and India. This strategic move aims to scrutinize whether these products are being sold at unfairly low prices, below their normal value, in order to gain a competitive edge in the market. By initiating this investigation, China is not only addressing potential market distortions, but also signaling its readiness to use legal instruments as a form of economic pressure. In an anti-dumping probe, authorities typically assess if foreign exporters are deliberately pricing their goods below cost to undercut domestic manufacturers. If such practices are proven, China may impose additional tariffs or other trade remedies on the implicated products. This could lead to increased costs for U.S. and Indian exporters, potentially reducing their market share within China. The investigation, therefore, serves a dual purpose. It protects domestic industries from unfair competition, while also establishing a legal precedent that could deter similar practices in the future. Moreover, this move is part of China's broader strategy to leverage legal and regulatory mechanisms in its ongoing trade disputes. By applying legal pressure through anti-dumping measures, China hopes to force renegotiations on trade terms, pushing foreign suppliers to adjust their pricing strategies. The investigation is not merely a reactive measure. It is a calculated effort to strengthen China's position in the global trading system and to assert its economic sovereignty. Furthermore, targeting products from both the United States and India expands the scope of this pressure, potentially complicating trade relations with multiple key players. In doing so, China underscores its commitment to maintaining a level playing field in international markets. Ultimately, this anti-dumping investigation represents a deliberate blend of legal and commercial tactics designed to safeguard China's economic interests and to influence the behavior of its trading partners. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so drop a comment down below and join the conversation. Your feedback really helps us improve and brings our community closer together.